co-founder. We founded this company together. He is CTO. He deals with managing the technology side of things. Yeah, we're actually here together in the same place. We normally work remotely, but today we are in the same place saying hi. He's actually inside, I'm outside. So Jimmy, feel free to, I guess, briefly introduce yourself to everyone for this AMA.
Yeah, hey everybody. It's my first time speaking in front of this audience. Very excited and can't wait to answer some of your questions. Yeah, hey.
Yeah. So yeah, exciting to have Jimmy here. Maybe just to start off, somebody is talking about NFTs. Okay, to start off, before we go there, which we will, I'll just give you an update on the Highrise Creature Club for those people who have been following it. I hope some of you have. We had the sale of the Highrise Creature Club on Monday/Tuesday. We had some technical difficulties on Monday. If you joined the Discord, you probably saw there was a lot going on. We launched on this website called superfarm.com, and we sold out of the 10,000 creatures very, very quickly. We had a whitelist where people were able to purchase before with low stress, and then we had about 800 left for the public sale, and that sold out in less than 30 seconds. And so it was crazy. It sold out extremely, extremely quickly. We sold it for 0.04 ETH. Today, it's trading at somewhere between 0.2 and 0.25 ETH. And so that's like a 5 to 6x growth on the price of the creatures.
And sorry, in dollar terms, we sold it for about $160 each, and then they're now worth anywhere between $800 to $1,000.
Yeah, maybe $800 to $1,200. So hopefully the people who joined the whitelist, who were able to buy, captured a lot of value. That was kind of the goal here. The goal was to give value to people who were early and engaged, and not try to like price gouge and for us to price it a lot. And we're going to keep doing that in the future with selling items and selling NFTs. We want most of the value to go to the community here. The other thing I should mention is we are withholding 1,000 of them, and those 1,000 are going to be distributed in event rewards, in Highrise giveaways. They're really focused on the Highrise community and putting them into the kind of like the Highrise prizes. So that's going to be pretty cool too. We're going to be doing that, distributing them over the next year. Just in terms of schedule around the Highrise Creature Club, tomorrow we are revealing most of the creatures. So right now, if you go to the Immutable X marketplace, or you go to tokentrove.com or this other website called Aether Market, you can see the creatures that you have. And right now they look like little tadpoles inside of an incubator, and that's because they're hatching. Tomorrow they're going to hatch, and you'll be able to see what most of them look like. They'll have different rarities, and kind of different traits. I think there's about 450 different traits. Then on Friday, we're revealing 66 limited edition holographic ones. So those are custom tailored and custom designed by our art team. They're still the combination of the traits that all of the Creature Club creatures have, but they're going to look like holograms, and they're going to be kind of like especially good looking, or at least that's the goal. And then starting Saturday, for 10 days, every day, we're going to be revealing a unique one-of-one creature. So from Saturday until December 13th, there's going to be a different, unique one-of-one creature that's revealed. Somebody already owns it. They just don't know which creature they own. So that's going to happen on the reveal. And then once that's all over, on December 14th or 15th, you're going to be able to use the creatures inside of Highrise. So that's kind of the roadmap for the Highrise Creature Club right now. The other thing I should mention is we're actively working on a few different projects. One of them is a land sale, or really kind of a land system where people have dedicated plots of land on a different kind of map style directory, and you'll be able to use that land however you want. Set up a room in it, set up an environment in it, But instead of sorting rooms by most popular or whoever's in it, you're going to be able to see a kind of map where regardless of who's in it, it'll be on the map. And then we have some other like pretty cool projects on the blockchain side being cooked up. We're working on a marketplace so that it makes it easier to trade, specifically with high-rise items and a bunch of other things. We're also going to be releasing a website probably today or tomorrow where you can actually connect your Highrise account to the Highrise Creature Club stuff. So that's kind of an update about that side of things. If you want to stay in the know and you want to stay updated, join the Discord. It's just discord.gg/HCC. Definitely join the Discord there. Then next update I'll share technically is we're just almost done with the marketplace. So we have an in-app marketplace that we're also releasing where you can buy, trade, sell stuff for gold. You'll be able to list an item and you'll be able to buy items directly from other users for gold inside of Highrise. We're calling it the black market because it's going to appear for temporary amounts of time. So it's kind of like this like dark underground market. Yeah, you don't have to go through the chats and stuff anymore, but it's going to be this kind of like dark underground thing that's going to appear sometimes and then disappear. So we're going to like show it sometimes and not show it at others. And you'll see it when we release it, you'll see it in the shop. I think it'll be pretty cool. And then the other feature I think that's going to be going out is announcements so that we can show announcements without you having to like go and find Highrise N. There's going to be like a special little place where you can see announcements that we share. And then there's going to be a bunch of bug fixes as well. So that's, I guess that's what we're working on. That's the progress. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I think one thing I mentioned, by the way, someone was talking about the environmental impact of NFTs. This question always comes up. I'm going to share it one more time. We use a blockchain called Immutable X. It's extremely efficient. It's basically as efficient as our own database or our own servers. And the way they do that is a cryptographic technology called zero knowledge rollups. It's super cool. You guys should read more about it by going to immutable.com. We have some write-ups on it on our blog at medium.com/pocketworlds, but it's really effective. So yeah, that's the quick update. Maybe I can pass it over to Jimmy, who can share. Maybe it would be interesting, Jimmy, for you to share a little bit about the kind of the technical aspects of Highrise, like what's hard, what's easy in terms of building Highrise. What does it actually look like? What is the architecture? Maybe that'll be kind of interesting. Hopefully not going like into too much detail, but enough where people can get an understanding of the challenge.
Yeah, I can definitely take a stab at that. So you guys, being users of Highrise, you kind of know that Highrise feels a little bit different than most games, if not all games out there, in that you open the app, it feels kind of like Instagram, except one of the tabs is this world. Everything's quick, everything loads very quickly. There's no like loading screen typically when you first connect. And the way that's done is because we actually built it like Instagram. It's built like a native app and not necessarily like a game. So the difference is every tab that you see in the tab bar, with the exception of Room, is what is called native UI. So it's native to iOS or native to Android. That's why it's so snappy and you get the really cool animations. And then the Room itself is just, think of it as like a window into this game engine or this virtual world. And I think in a nutshell, that's kind of what's unique about Highrise. And from where I stand, I've only seen like one or two other projects that have ever used this approach. So we're very unique when it comes to that.
Yeah, totally. If you guys have kind of played other games, there's typically like a loading time, and then their messenger is usually like really not smooth or ineffective, and all of that is because of the design decisions that Jimmy and his team have made to make the experience super smooth. Obviously, that kind of complexity can also result in some bugs, especially with a smaller team. And so that's obviously something that we're constantly working on. A lot of people mentioning the batteries in the wheel spin. That's one of those bugs that's been exploited that we've had a hard time patching. Kind of keeps coming up. And trust me that the plan is definitely to patch it. We're working on it. Someone asked, can we get a permanent discount of the grab tax? And yes, that might be likely. So we're just seeing how things are going, but there's a chance that it could stay forever. So yeah, keep telling us how you think and keep using it. Let's see. What else should we talk about, Jimmy? Are there any any things you think it would make sense to review? I would love to talk more and share more about kind of our plans for blockchain and NFTs and why that's so important. I think I talked about it a little bit at the last AMA, but the thing is, like, the community in Highrise. Sorry, I'll talk about the design contest shortly, actually. I'll talk about that next. But one thing I just want to cover or mention is that some of you may have seen that NFTs have obviously become very, very popular. You see, like, people like Jimmy Fallon or Post Malone or Snoop Dogg, a bunch of celebrities buying NFTs, and a lot of you are like, "Oh, that's weird. That doesn't make sense." What, however you might feel about it. And I think what I'd love for um, you guys to appreciate is actually you guys were the pioneers in making that happen, because everyone here knows the value of virtual goods, right? Everyone in this room is a user of Highrise, and every user of Highrise understands that virtual goods have real value, right? When you have this virtual item and other people see that you have it, to you, that's valuable. To me, that's valuable. But I would say that when you talk to your parents or your cousins or your friends, they're like, I don't get it. Why do you spend money in this game? Why do you spend money on these virtual goods? Why do you buy a virtual shirt? It doesn't make sense. Some people might find that even embarrassing, things like that. And what's happening now is that people like Jimmy Kimmel, people like Post Malone, through the introduction of NFTs, are actually joining us, right? They're understanding that actually virtual goods, they mean something, right? They're valuable. I think in very short order, like within the next 6 months to a year, when you're when you tell your parents or your family or your friends that you bought an item in Highrise, that will like 100% be normal, 100% not embarrassing, and 100% something that like everybody does, including, you know, like I said, the Jimmy Kimmels and the Post Malones of the world. And you guys were the first ones to do it. We've been around for 6 years. And many of the people in this room have actually been using Highrise for many years and have been doing that, have been buying and selling virtual items. I think I just want you guys to realize that you guys are pioneering this. Like, you actually paved the way to make this mainstream. And it's really awesome.
And I just want to respond to SpsychBite for a second. I think you're totally right that unless you're able to sell your items, it's really difficult to capture the value. And I think that's exactly what we want with NFTs. If you see the Highrise Creature Club, the difference between what that represents and what the items that we currently have in Highrise is that you can sell it. You can take it to any marketplace and sell it for currency, which then you could turn into US dollars or whatever currency you like. And oftentimes well, as you can see with Highrise Creature Club, we sold it for $160 equivalent. You can immediately turn it around and sell it for $1,000 and keep the money if you wanted to. That's the kind of value that we want to deliver to the user, to you directly. And NFTs is our path to doing that. Right now, we're minting new NFTs like the Highrise Creature Club, but we have plans to eventually allow you to turn the items that you have in Highrise into an NFT. Then you can cash out and sell it on the open marketplace. It's further down the road, so I can't promise anything, but that's kind of the future that we envision. Every item that you have, whether it's in Highrise or on blockchain, maybe they're one and the same, can be taken in and out and turned into whatever you like.
Totally. And again, I guess for the people who are like, I guess critiquing the people who are NFTs, I mean, look, that literally it is the mainstreaming of what you do, of what we do. And so I really, I don't know that it makes sense to critique folks who are doing what we do, which is buy and sell virtual goods.
And then I
Like,
think it's a
we see
really
the
good
value there.
question. Again, from SpsychBite, how would we profit as Highrise the company from a world that's like that? And the answer is we want a world where everyone is engaged in these kind of virtual goods. Right now, we have a fairly small community. Even though we're 13 million users, there's a lot of us here in Highrise, but honestly, that's still pretty small. And we, as a company, make money by selling goods directly to you. But we want to be in a world where we're massive, and we don't want to be capturing all the value. We'll take a very, very small percentage, like you know, right now we're selling and keeping kind of 100% of the value, but we want to be in a world where we're taking 2% of the value. And you as a holder, or you as a person that's buying from us and then reselling or whatever, you're taking 98% of the value. But because the market is so big, we're fine. We're fine as a company.
Totally. Yeah, we want to expand this market. And as you guys have seen, I think NFTs have expanded the virtual goods market dramatically, and it's expanding ever more quickly. And just to give you like a stat, like OpenSea is doing between $2 and $4 billion of transaction volume a month. This is for a kind of a wide variety of all new types of NFTs. And so the whole idea here is, really expand the market, give a lot of the value to the creators and the owners, but enable a kind of platform. And where we provide the kind of the value is just, hey, this is a platform where your NFTs can live. We will also sell some of our own NFTs because we have a fantastic art team and we create stuff, but eventually we want you to be able to create those NFTs and we want you to be able to sell them. But then also, if you do buy them from us, then you capture the value if you're early, if you get into a whitelist or if you win them in an event, they're kind of yours to do what you want with. So I find that to be a pretty exciting feature personally. And so I'm super excited that you guys are on this journey with us and that, we're getting your feedback kind of. I will say, like, in the Highrise Discord, it's pretty cool. There's this kind of union of the NFT community and the Highrise community. And I know it was like a little rocky at first, but it seems to be going really well right now. And for those who don't know, NFT stands for non-fungible token. It just means basically an item, like basically an item that is not the same as another item. A fungible token would mean an item that's identical to another item. So the equivalent might be like the US dollar. The US dollar is fungible. You don't care which dollar you have, but a painting is non-fungible. You care which painting you have. That's kind of the general idea, what that means. Cool, yeah. There was a question about the UGC contest, about making it more equal. Yes, that is literally right now. It's been actually in a pull request, which just means like somebody's been waiting to review it for a number of weeks. But there's another feature, like a very technical feature that I'm not going to go into here, but we're waiting on that fix. Then once that fix is out, then it's going to be sent to QA, which means that it's like quality assurance. They check to see how well it's working, and then it's going to be deployed. So it's like on the edge, the UGC contests, the new ones.
And then just to add one more thing, I'm seeing the chats talking about NFTs and what it is. I'm fairly new to this space as well. And then I think before jumping into it, my perception of what NFTs are just pictures, right? People are buying these pictures online for an obscene amount of money, and I never really understood why. Obviously, in the context of Highrise, you have some utility, meaning you can actually take the pictures and wear them in the case of creatures, or in the case of land that we're planning to, the land sale that we're planning to launch, you can actually build a house on the land and maybe collect rent if you have tenants. Who knows? But I think the interesting thing that is not often talked about with NFTs, and this is something that's really enabled by the community, is each thing, even as just a picture, depending on the community, but it can be turned into so much more. One example is my wife just got into NFTs yesterday because of the Highrise Creature Club, and she then went on to buy a winter bear. This is another NFT collection, and she was really excited about it because if you own a winter bear, in the next couple of weeks, there's rumors that you will also get a summer bear. So then your winter bear is kind of multiplying in your wallet or in your inventory into other cool things. And then that summer bear will also have value of its own. So imagine you spend $100 to buy this winter bear, but then in a week it gave birth to a summer bear, and now that summer bear is worth $50, or maybe it climbs to be even rarer than winter bears. Who knows? Um, so it's way more than a painting or a picture. It's because it's connected to the blockchain, connected to actually technology. The community can do so much more with it.
Yeah. And like there are so it's still new, but there's lots of interesting things that people do. Like, for example, Bored Apes, they airdropped a serum, and then you could feed the serum to a Bored Ape, and you get a mutant ape. You get a totally new creature, or it could be a key to access some sort of private event. Like, for example, with the Highrise Creature Club, we actually have a private Highrise Creature Club room that is only accessible if you own a creature. So there's lots of things that you can do with this technology, not just on our platform, but on any platform. And so it's pretty exciting. Um, uh, Somebody keeps asking about Overwatch games. Yeah, I mean, unless we did a partnership with Overwatch, we wouldn't release Overwatch items, and we have no partnership on the horizon right now. Um, we may have a hoodie that might look like it's referenced, but it's certainly not an Overwatch hoodie. Just to be
Yeah,
clear.
it's more of an homage or a reference to it than an
Yeah.
actual partnership.
Um, okay, somebody is asking, can you elaborate on the HR influencer? Actually, I am not super well equipped to elaborate on that, but I think Patrick is in the room and he could elaborate a little bit on how how the HR influencer program works. Where are you, Patrick? Are you in here? Yeah, you are. Um, so can if he likes, or he can type it out. Um, but we'll definitely share more info about the HR influencer program. I think in general, we're looking for people who have a following, a social media following outside of Highrise, who can engage with their community to share what Highrise is all about, um, and promote us a little bit, and work with us to do that. I think it would be a really kind of like a win-win program. Yes, we had two actual partnerships. We had a Gudetama event with Gudetama and Charlie Cohen. And then we had a partnership with, oh boy, Rakam Sakura. Those are two partnerships that we tried. And they were both pretty successful. And there's a good chance we're going to work with other ones. Someone from Qatar is saying they couldn't buy. That's interesting and surprising. I don't believe, well, I don't know what's going on in Qatar, but I think you should be able to
So
obtain ETH somehow.
it's difficult to buy. Obviously, we had such huge demand for the initial drop, so it was very difficult unless you run the whitelist to buy from us. But at this point, the sale is over. You can buy from other people because they're NFTs. They can be freely sold and traded on these outside marketplaces that are not obviously part of our company. An example of this would be Token Trove or the official IMX marketplace. You can go there right now, and there's a bunch listed for sale, and you can see exactly how much people are charging for it. Of course, this will be a secondary transaction, meaning you're buying it from someone else who's selling it and not from us directly. But it's the same as if you bought it from us directly.
Yeah. And someone is asking, how does this affect the high-rise community? Because there's relatively few. There's 10,000. So a number of ways. One, like I said, we reserved 1,000 to be distributed to the high-rise community through event rewards and other mechanisms. So already that's like one way that it will affect the high-rise community. But second, this is really our first step. And this is kind of our first entry into learning about blockchain, building on blockchain, getting stuff out there. Another thing that we're going to be working on is an ability for you to take some of your kind of rarest, most coveted items and turn them into NFTs. And I think, especially for the high-res community that's already around, converting them to NFTs is going to be pretty valuable. And so it's going to basically unlock a bunch of value in your inventory that I think will be pretty powerful.
Yeah,
Um,
imagine if you had Snoop Feet, but you can turn that pair of Snoop Feet into an NFT. Now it lives on the blockchain. Take it to any marketplace. You can sell it for actual money, a huge obscene amount of money, most likely because it's so rare. Just a lot of interesting things. And then whoever buys it, again, is connected back to their Highrise inventory. They can wear it inside of Highrise.
Totally. Um, yeah, I think it's a pretty exciting feature, and we are building our own marketplace. So right now you have to use like an Immutable X marketplace or Token Trove or some other, but we're starting to work on our own marketplace where you can more easily integrate, more easily do that trading. You'll be able to like, connect with your Highrise account and all that stuff. So it'll be pretty powerful. Um, in terms of grabs, yeah, I mean grabs play a key role in that. As before, if you spin a grab, get a super rare item, and imagine that you can convert it into an NFT. Now you can unlock the value of it fully. You can buy, sell, trade it for whatever on any marketplace. So grabs are a core component of all of this, like this entire system. Is there a future where designers can design and sell designs in game? And yes, now it's not super near term, but there are lots of ideas we have there on things that can be possible, especially as we move more and more towards becoming a platform for launching projects or a platform for launching other people's art. Um, there are some really interesting things that we're probably going to be doing there. Even in the NFT space, we might create a launch pad where someone can come in and build their own project. We would help them launch it. We would also create their content inside of Highrise. Um, and so there are kind of like some interesting prospects there. Um, um, oh, someone's asking about catching Android up and not focusing on NFTs. So the Android team is separate. And so the Android team continues to work on Android features. They're focused on building and catching Android up. We do have some job recs open for Android. So if you know anybody who's an excellent Android engineer, we are fully remote. And so we'll hire them wherever they live. Go to pocketworlds.com and have them apply. And we actually have a ton of job openings open, I think something like 12. So I suggest going to pocketworlds.com and looking through all of the job openings. We are trying to hire. Um, Somebody is saying, why are we focused more on money than safety? That's just not true. And I don't agree with that assessment at all. I've talked about this many times. We're growing our trust and safety team very quickly. We literally our a new head of trust and safety started on this Monday. That team is now 16 people, and it's growing really quickly. I just want to be like crystal clear that just because we're working on one thing doesn't mean we're not also working on another. It's like our support and trust and safety team can't build features, and our feature team can't address reports. And so we're growing both teams and we're doing both things. I kind of
And just to put it into perspective, the trust and safety team in our company is by far the biggest team. So
Yeah.
I run the engineering team, and we have maybe 12 people. And then the trust and safety team by itself is 16. So you can kind of see how important it is for us.
Yes. Oh, and I'm glad to hear that the pawn shop on Android is fixed. That was definitely a thing that they were working on, and I'm glad that's been fixed. The reason why the wheel has not yet been fixed is because it's complicated because it gets exploited. So when we test fix, people come in and they end up figuring out a way to exploit it. And so it's like basically us versus people who exploit, and it's kind of a war and a battle. And right now, unfortunately, we're not winning, but the plan is to win, and we're working on it. Um, yeah, the marketplace will be in app form. Yes, it's going to be in the app. So the gold marketplace. Well, I'm not sure which marketplace you're talking about, but the gold marketplace, the one that's coming out soon, that one is in the app, and it's like I said, it's going to be called the black market because it's going to come out um, temporarily, like for periods of time, and hopefully in those periods of time, there's going to be a lot of activity. It's going to be kind of like an exciting event. Um, cool, yeah. Um, let's see. I think, by the way, we might have to cut this AMA a little bit short. Where I think we have slated for about 40 minutes today. just because Jimmy and I are trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and especially with the drop and all the technical stuff. In terms of emote prices in the store, I actually don't know. I don't manage the emote prices in the store, to be honest. I don't think it has to do with being money hungry and more to do with rarity and how many emotes end up getting purchased, even though they're labeled as legendary. So, like our legendary emotes, they have a certain rarity rate. Um, Basically, like we want our legendaries to be distributed at a similar rate, and it's possible that when the price is too low, then they get like super distributed, and so we either reduce the rarity of the emotes, um, or we retain the price so that the distribution is kind of similar. Um, let's see. All right. Do we have social media pages? We do. You can go to twitter.com/highrise app. You can go to instagram.com/highrise to see our socials. That's where to go. When are we going to release the next art design calendar? That's a great question. I think Patrick last time was saying that it's coming out soon, but I'm actually not sure. Maybe Patrick, you want to write that down and see when we're doing it. Let's see. The art design calendar, Patrick? Why is it that every update only benefits us temporarily? I'm not sure what you're saying. But the black market is a thing that's going up and down. It's going to be on, it's going to be off. Oh, public calendar is coming today or tomorrow, says Patrick. So, Trav, I think we've like really been emphasizing that what we're trying to do right now is literally the opposite of money hungry. Like our core focus is to give the value to users by introducing this concept of NFTs, introducing this concept that you own your own item. The reason why the black market is not going to be permanent, it's going to be on and off and on and off, is because that's the game mechanic that we decided to try. Um, if that game mechanic isn't working, then we'll make changes. But that's kind of the game design.
The idea is every time it becomes available, so say for the next 2 weeks it's available, or for the next 2 months it's available, that it's kind of a special thing. People should, if you have stuff for sale or if you want to buy stuff from it, rush, take advantage of it. It's not something that's like for the next hour it's available, then it's gone again. This is something much longer term. So it's days or weeks or months. But the idea is the only thing we're trying to emphasize is that it's not a fixture that's always there. But when it is there, it's special. Kind of like the McRib. When it comes back, it's special.
Right. And answering your question, Angel, there's a very good chance that it's going to stick around forever, the 70-30 split for the UGC craps. Very good chance we'll stick around forever, but we wanted to test it out first.
And Trav, I can assure you that the emote prices is not important for us at all. Meaning that it's not what's driving our business. We're not setting emotes to be $30 because we're trying to kind of gouge money out. Instead, what we're trying to do is kind of introduce rarity. So when someone does have that emote, it is very special because it's rare. Whereas if every emote is 50 cents, then nobody will care about emotes.
Correct. Yeah. Just to give you an idea, it's like less than 1% of our revenue. It's just not what the intention is. Um, let's see. All right. Well, will we, I get this question a lot actually. Will we ever make account bound items tradable? We will not. And the reason why we even have account bound items is so that we can give items away. If we didn't have account bound items, then we couldn't give items away. And the reason why, as is often the case, is exploiters. What happens is exploiters make tons and tons of fake accounts and they get a bunch of those items, and that tanks the market for those items. those items stop being rare, and because they're stopped being rare, nobody actually wants them. And so that's why we introduced the concept of account bound items, so that we could give some items away while not tanking the rarity of any particular item. Let's see. All right. Okay. Well, let me see if there's any other kind of like relevant question. Yeah, the play to earn is desperately needed. I agree, and it's something that we are working on. Definitely working on. In terms of the people who are suggesting the next, what the next contest should be, the next design contest should be, feel free to share that feedback. We use canny.io. I think it's highrise.canny.io, where you can post some stuff. People do look at it. Our team does look at it. And so if you post ideas for themes, that's going to percolate to the art team and then and the live ops team, and then they may or may not kind of select it. So I suggest sharing it there. I think the website is highrise.canny.io. All right. Okay, so as I mentioned, we had about 40 minutes today just because Jimmy and I are in a crunch working. I want to say thank you for everyone who came out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your feedback. I really appreciate it. I really like doing this every week. I like hearing what you guys have to say. I especially like the people who are kind of positive. And thank you for that. We're really growing Highrise together. And I honestly think we're paving the way for virtual goods and metaverses together. Like, we've been doing this as a community. We're going to continue to do it. I think it's really awesome that you guys have been with us for so long. And yeah, I'm just super pumped. Yeah, I don't know, Jimmy, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I think in closing, this is a pretty special time for us here at Highrise. There's a lot of different things that we have in development and kind of upcoming in terms of reveals in terms that the projects that we're working on. So stay tuned. I think the next couple of months is going to be pretty big here.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. All right. Thanks, everyone. As always, try to tip each other. Don't tip me or Jimmy, but tip each other. It's nice to end it on a positive note and to give each other thanks. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.